I've been keeping a tally of the times that you stayed against the debt of the promises that you never paid. I looked for a reason to keep holding the line, to convince my own heart that you'd eventually be mine. But the silence is heavy and the bed is too cold, and I'm tired of a story that's already been told. I used to think maybe it was a bridge we could cross, but it's just a long road leading back to the loss. I don't need a betrayal, I don't need a lie to give me the courage to look you in the eye. I've got enough of the empty, enough of the fine, to know that I'm wasting what's left of my time. It's not a big explosion or a house on fire, it's just the slow fading of a lonely desire. It's the weight of the almost and the not quite there, and the feeling of breathing in motionless air. I don't need a reason to scream or to cry, that nothing you gave me is enough for goodbye. Yeah, the silence between us is a mountain too high, and finally, baby, it's enough for goodbye. It's enough for goodbye. You'll ask what I'm doing, you'll ask what went wrong, but you haven't been listening to my heart's only song. I'm not leaving in anger, I'm not leaving in hate, I'm just leaving before it's too late to be great. I filled up the holes with the grace I could find, but I'm leaving the shadow of us far behind. You're a beautiful habit I'm learning to break, a long quiet lesson I had to mistake. It's not a big explosion or a house on fire, it's just the slow fading of a lonely desire. It's the weight of the almost and the not quite there, and the feeling of breathing in motionless air. I don't need a reason to scream or to cry, that nothing you gave me is enough for goodbye. Yeah, the silence between us is a mountain too high, and finally, baby, it's enough for goodbye. Sometimes the ending is quiet and clean, a soft final curtain on a repetitive scene. I'm taking my heart back, I'm closing the door, because barely existing isn't love anymore. The silence is plenty, it's enough for goodbye. It's enough for goodbye. I see you reaching for your jacket by the door, a sound I've heard 1,000 times before. But this time the rhythm feels heavy and wrong, like the final few notes of a beautiful song. Your eyes are already halfway down the street, while I'm standing here frozen, admitting defeat. The air in the hallways turn into ice, and I'm paying the ghost of a heartbreak price. Don't look at the floor, look me straight in the face. Don't leave your shadow all over this place. If you take one more step, then the world's gonna tilt, and I'll be the one left to drown in the guilt. Oh baby, don't left me in the dark tonight. Don't turn out the spark, don't take away the light. I know that we're broken, I know that we're afraid, but I'm terrified of the silence we've made. My heart is a house that you're tearing apart. Don't leave me at the end before I find a start. It's a long way to fall when you're all that I see. Please stay for a minute, don't left me. Don't left me. The keys in your hand make a cold silver sound, and my dignity's lying right here on the ground. I'd beg if I thought it would make you turn around, but you're already lost and you don't wanna be found. Is it something I did? Is it someone you met? Or are you just tired of the no winners bet? I'm reaching for always, you're reaching for gone, and I'm scared of the quiet that comes with the dawn. Oh baby, don't left me in the dark tonight. Don't turn out the spark, don't take away the light. I know that we're broken, I know that we're afraid, but I'm terrified of the silence we've made. My heart is a house that you're tearing apart. Don't leave me at the end before I find a start. It's a long way to fall when you're all that I see. Please stay for a minute, don't left me. Don't left me. One more hour, one more breath, one more lie. Anything's better than this silent goodbye. If you walk out that door, you're not coming back, and I'll spend my whole life in the heart of the black. Don't left me. The car's dying. Don't left me. The world is parting. I'm still here, I'm still yours, but you're just a ghost between two doors. Please don't left me. Don't left me. I'm painting a smile for the people outside, building a fortress where I can go hide. They see the surface, they see I'm okay, but they don't see the girl who is wasting away. The table is set for a dinner for one. I'm shadows and dust now that we are all done. I talk to the walls just to hear a soft sound, but the silence is heavy and pulls me to ground. I'm a master of fine, I'm a pro at the mask, but don't look too close, it's too much of a task to explain why I'm shaking, to tell you the truth, that I'm mourning the loss of my heart and my youth. And I suffer alone in the quiet of night, wrestling ghosts in the absence of light. No hand on my shoulder, no voice in my ear, just the cold steady rhythm of one lonely tear. I'm a bird in a cage, but I suffer alone. Your name is a secret I keep in my throat, a message in bottles that never will float. I see a new life in the glow of a screen, while I'm living in spaces that go in between. I don't call my mother, I don't call my friends. I'm tired of the how are you that never quite ends. I'd rather be hollow, I'd rather be stoned, and let someone see just how far I've flown. And I suffer alone in the quiet of night, wrestling ghosts in the absence of light. No hand on my shoulder, no voice in my ear, just the cold steady rhythm of one lonely tear. I'm a bird in a cage with the door open wide, but I've forgotten the way to the world outside. It's a long hollow road that I'm walking on home, and the hardest part is I suffer alone. Till there's nothing left of this flickering spark. I suffer alone. The curtains are drawn, waiting for light, but fearing the dawn. No one to hold, no one to see, just the ghost of the girl who used to be me. Who used to be me. I kept the dinner warm until the stars began to bleed. I was a garden waiting for a drop of what I need. I wore that dress you like, the one that's gathering the dust, trying to build a temple out of shadows and of rust. I watched the headlights flicker on the wall of every room, mistaking every passing car for the end of all this gloom. But the driveway's always empty, and the porch lights burning out, and I'm just left here drowning in the ocean of my doubt. I gave you every Sunday, I gave you every breath. I held on to a maybe till it felt like a slow death. I was betting on a person who was already halfway gone, and now I'm standing freezing in the middle of the dawn. And I waited in vain, I waited for a change, for a love that wasn't hollow, for a heart that wasn't strange. I was looking for a lighthouse in a sea without a shore, while you were busy packing up and heading for the seasons turn to iron and the flowers turn to gray. While I rehearsed the perfect things I thought would make you stay, I made excuses for the distance, I made reasons for the cold, ignoring all the warnings that my own heart had already told. You were never gonna stay, you were never gonna try. You were just a traveler looking for a place to lie, and I was just a destination to stop along the road, while I treated your arrival like a heavy, sacred code. And I waited in vain, I waited for a change, for a love that wasn't hollow, for a heart that wasn't strange. I was looking for a lighthouse in a sea without a shore, while you were busy packing up and heading for the door. It's a heavy kind of silence, it's a bitter kind of rain, knowing all the always that I whispered were in vain. Yeah, I sat here in the dark, just a prisoner of your name. God, it kills me to admit it, I waited in vain. My time is the one thing I can't get back from you. The hours spent in longing for a ghost that wasn't true. I poured my life into a glass that was already cracked, and I'm the only one left standing with a heart that's still intact. But it's heavy. Showed up, no, you never came at all. Vain, it was all in vain. I'm looking at the ring, sitting by the sink. It's just a piece of metal now, I think. The same one that used to make my world ignite. Now it's just a shadow in the morning light. We're still sharing coffee, still sharing the bed, but we're starving for the things that we never said. Yeah, how was your day? Sounds like a script you read, a hollow little ritual that we've overfed. We used to be a fire, now we're just the smoke, the punchline of a very long and bitter joke. I'm searching for the feeling, searching for the spark, but we're just too blind, people dancing in the dark. 'Cause our love lost meaning, it lost its way, like a color that's faded to a dusty gray. The words I love you are just sounds in the air, heavy with the weight of the I don't care. We didn't have a crash, we didn't have a fight, we just drifted out of reach in the middle of the night. Now we're a house with no heart, a book with no soul, and I'm just the passenger losing control. I remember when your touch felt like a holy thing, a reason for the winter to turn into spring. Now it's just a habit, a reflex, a chore, like the way that I'm careful when I close the door. We're masters of the static, experts at the fun, while we're crossing over an invisible line. I'd rather you hate me than feel nothing at all, than to watch this beautiful empire fall. 'Cause our love lost meaning, it lost its way, like a color that's faded to a dusty gray. The words I love you are just sounds in the air, heavy with the weight of the I don't care. We didn't have a crash, we didn't have a fight, we just drifted out of reach in the middle of the night. Now we're a house with no heart, a book with no soul, and I'm just the passenger losing control. If the walls could talk, they'd tell us to run, they'd say that the damage has already been done. But we're still here acting out the play, waiting for the courage to just walk away. The thing I miss most. Silence is the best. I used to scream until my throat was raw and dry, begging for a reason, begging for a why. I thought if I was louder I could make you stay, but words were just the pebbles that you threw away. Now the house is hollow and the TV's off. I don't hear your footsteps or your morning cough. And for the first time in 1,000 broken nights, I'm not looking for the armor or the losing fights. The air is finally still, the static's gone to bed. I'm cleaning out the echoes, living in my head. There's a strange kind of mercy in a room this cold, a story that's better when it's left untold. 'Cause silence is the best. It doesn't tell a lie. It doesn't promise always to leave me here to die. It doesn't need a witness. It doesn't need a stage. It just lets me sit here and turn the final page. No more jagged sorries, no more wait for me. Just the quiet rhythm of a heart that's finally free. I used to fear the hush, I used to fear the rest, but now I know the truth. Silence is the best. I see your number flashing on the darkened screen, the ghost of every argument and every messy scene. I let the vibration fade into the floor, because I don't need to hear you maybe anymore. Every word you whisper is a debt I have to pay, a heavy kind of currency that takes my breath away. So I'll wrap myself in velvet, I'll wrap myself in white and find my own salvation in the middle of the night. 'Cause silence is the best. It doesn't tell a lie. It doesn't promise always to leave me here to die. It doesn't need a witness. It doesn't need a stage. It just lets me sit here and turn the final page. No, no more safe from the storm and the heartbreaking riot. Silence is the best. Silence is the best. I still feel hurting. I still feel hurting. I thought by now the edges would have started to soften, but I'm still falling down the same holes just as often. The calendar is turning, but my heart is out of time. Stuck in the middle of a steep and bitter climb. I see a car in every crowd, a ghost in every room, like a flower that's forgotten how it's supposed to bloom. The world keeps on saying that I should be moving on, but I'm still shivering here waiting for a different dawn. They tell me that the over is supposed to set me free, but it feels like a heavy chain wrapped around me. I try to wash the memory of your touch off of my skin, but I don't know where you end and where I begin. And I still feel hurting, like the wound is brand new, like I'm still standing in the rain, crying over you. I've tried the deep breathing, I've tried to let it go, but the pain is a river that just won't stop its flow. It's a dull, heavy throb, a constant kind of ache, like a glass that's been shattered but refuses to break. I'm tired of the strong and I'm tired of the flirting. The truth is, baby, I still feel hurting. I went out with some friends to a place we used to go. I smiled at the jokes and I put on a show, but every song they played had a line that sounded like us, and my composure just turned back to ashes and dust. I'm a master of the mask, I'm a pro at the I'm fine, while I'm drowning in the glass of this expensive wine. It's been 6 months of Sundays and a million miles away, underneath the weight of an unforgiving sky. And I still feel hurting, like the wound is brand new, like I'm still standing in the rain, crying over you. I've tried the deep breathing, I've tried to let it go, but the pain is a river that just won't stop this flow. It's a dull, heavy throb, a constant kind of ache, like a glass that's been shattered but refuses to break. I'm tired of the strong and I'm tired of the flirting. The truth is, baby, I still feel hurt. Is there a deadline for the tears, a limit to the grief, or am I just a prisoner who will never find relief? I'm reaching for a version of myself that's finally healed, but the scars are still open and the fate is already sealed. The end of the fall, yeah, I still feel hurting. Yeah, I still feel hurting. I'm looking at the map spread out on the floor, tracing the miles from the bed to the door. We're sharing a roof, but we're worlds away, with nothing but fine left for us to say. The distance didn't happen in a single night. It wasn't a fire or a sudden flight. It was the slow, quiet pulling of the tide, until we were standing on the opposite side. I reached for your hand in the dark of the hall, but I couldn't find anything there at all. Just a cold, empty wind where the spark used to be, and a horizon that's hiding you from me. And we drifted far apart, like ships in the fog, lost in the pages of a broken down log. No anchors to hold us, no stars in the sky, just a long, slow motion of a silent goodbye. We didn't notice the shore slipping out of our sight, until we were ghosts in the middle of the night. Now the ocean between us is too wide to chart. God, it's so lonely how we drifted far apart. You're reading your book, I'm watching the rain. Neither one mentioned the weight of strain. We used to be tangled, we used to be one. Now we're just islands in a setting sun. The things that we loved have all floated away, lost in the current of the not today. I scream for rescue, I'd wave a white flag, but my heart is a weight that I'm tired to drag. And we drifted far apart, like ships in the fog, lost in the pages of a broken down log. No anchors to hold us, no stars in the sky, just a long, slow motion of a silent goodbye. We didn't notice the shore slipping out of our sight, until we were ghosts in the middle of the night. Now the ocean between us is too wide to chart. God, it's so lonely how we drifted far apart. Was it the silence or was it the pride that let the water get so deep and so wide? I'm calling your name, but the echo is hollow, into a darkness where I cannot just a wake, one last breath before we break. I'm still reaching for the phone when the morning is new, to tell you a story that I'd only tell you. Then the weight of the quiet comes crashing through the floor, and I remember your shoes aren't by the door. I see your coffee mug sitting back on the shelf, like a part of the house that's forgotten itself. The ghost of your laughter is trapped in the hall, but you're just a picture hanging still on the wall. I used to hold your hand, now I'm holding my breath, learning the difference between distance and death. You're everywhere I look, but you're nowhere to find, just a beautiful shadow left in my mind. 'Cause you became a memory, story I tell, a coin at the bottom of a wishing well. I can't touch your face or hear your name without feeling the sting of this flickering flame. You transition from always to once upon a time, a mountain of maybe I'm tired to climb. The world kept on moving inside of my heart. I went to our place, the one by the lake, and I felt every bone in my body just break. Because the bench is still there and the trees are still green, but there's a giant forever missing from the scene. I'm talking about you in the past tense now, with a heavy heart and a clouded brow. It's strange how a person can turn into air and leave such a heavy weight everywhere. 'Cause you became a memory, a story I tell, a coin at the bottom of a wishing well. I can't touch your face or hear your name without feeling the sting of this flickering flame. You transitioned from always to once upon a time, a mountain of maybe I'm tired to climb. The world kept on moving, but I'm stuck at the start, living with a memory inside of my heart. I'm terrified of the day that the colors start to fade, of losing the sense of the promises we made. I'm holding on tight to the ghost of your skin, because if I let go, the real gon' begin. In the middle of the black, yeah, you're just a memory. I still keep the sugar in the bowl by the stove, a bitter reminder of the treasure we drove into the ground where the wildflowers grow. You had a way of making the heavy feel low, like honey and coffee on a cold Monday morning. You patched up the places where my spirit was torn. I remember the sunlight dancing over your skin before the shadows of goodbye started creeping in. It's the sugar that kills me now that I'm sour. I'm replaying the sweetness of our final hour. How can something so gentle leave such a deep scar? I'm still reaching for you wherever you are, 'cause your love was so sweet, it was silk on my soul, a beautiful medicine that made me feel whole. But now I'm just crashing from the high of the gold, living in a story that's grown jagged and cold. It's a cruel kind of magic, a poisonous treat to be starving for a memory, 'cause your love was so sweet. Yeah, it's the taste of the always that makes the gone so hard. Now I'm just a ghost in our own backyard. The kitchen is quiet, the radio's dead. I'm tangled in the linens of our empty bed. I try to be angry, I try to find fault, but my memories of you aren't seasoned with salt. You were the melody, the softest of refrains, the only umbrella in my seasonal rains. That's why the breaking is so hard to do when there's nothing but kindness to remember of you. 'Cause your love was so sweet, it was silk on my soul, a beautiful medicine that made me feel whole. But now I'm just crashing from the high of the gold, living in a story that's grown jagged and cold. It's a cruel kind of magic, a poison makes the gone so hard. Now I'm just a ghost in our own backyard. If you've been a villain, if you've been alone, it'd be so much easier to say this goodbye. But you are the sugar, you were the light. Now I'm just left with the taste of the in the sun, so sweet. Before we were done, now the kitchen is empty, and the coffee is black, and the sweetness is something I can't get back. Mm-hmm.